All right, let's get to the biggest topic in gaming for the week. Literally starting off late last week, going into the weekend, but now we are in the middle of the thick of it. Shout out to everybody on Twitch watching live. If you are on YouTube seeing this video, then please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and like the video. We have had some success on the last couple of videos, so I do appreciate all of the support. But let's get into it. First of all, I want to preface this video because we're going to be talking about AI in video games. I want to preface this video by saying I am not against AI. I am not against AI. I think that AI can be a necessary tool that can be used. I think that AI can assist you in many ways. Okay. I currently use AI for thumbnails. I use it for thumbnails. I currently use it for gathering clips and editing them for me. And I use AI for SEO help, mainly with YouTube and figuring out, what works, what doesn't work. So I use AI as a tool. I do not use it as a crutch. I do not use it to do things for me. I think that there are some very nice use cases for AI. However, I wouldn't say vehemently against AI in the creative space, but I tend to frown upon AI in the creative space. And in this case, we're talking about video games. I think that again, AI can be used to assist, and in some ways, it can be used to make mundane or redundant tasks easier. It cut down on their time. But if you use the AI to completely, do something for you and take the whole creative aspect out of it, because again, AI, as you continue to train it, is going to be essentially stealing or taking from somewhere else that, assets that are already been done before. So I don't like it in that aspect. I think if you're trying to use it in that aspect, then you're just, taking away all the creativity. But again, AI can be used as a tool, but I don't like it being used as a crutch, especially in the creative space, because it is, highly frowned upon, especially with people who have been doing it for a long time, the actual artists. Okay. So I want to preface that before anybody tries to twist what my stance is. This is my stance, but I do have the right to change my mind. This isn't something that I'm dying on the sword. This isn't something that I'm standing on business with, but this is my current stance on AI, especially in the creative space. Now, let's get to it. So let's go through the timeline, because I did tweet about this Expedition 33 AI stuff when I saw it. But as you know, we did our podcast, last week, and this news wasn't out yet. So I don't know why anyone wanted us to immediately, like, it seemed like y'all wanted us to have like an emergency meeting on this. And that's not happening. Sorry, that's not how we conduct our business when it comes to the podcast. So my bad. We didn't think that this news was going to come out about about this game. Otherwise, we would have talked about it. But the narrative seemed like y'all thought that we were some Expedition 33 defenders, or that we were just blatantly ignoring the topic. I don't care about talking about this. I'm not afraid of talking about this, even though Expedition 33 was my game of the year. Like, that literally makes no sense. I don't know why anybody tried to twist that narrative or try to, paint that on us. That's totally incorrect. It simply was because this news came out after we recorded the podcast. So again, debunking anybody who's on their bull. I'm shutting all that stuff down. We're not on that type. Yeah, merch. Yeah, I'm like, what's somebody like, man, you put out a video. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, just again, dumb stuff. Anyways, let's go through the timeline, because there is a whole like build up as to why Expedition 33 ended up being in the crosshairs of a lot of people, it seems. Let's start off with Divinity. Now, if you weren't aware, Divinity, they did their reveal of Divinity 3 on the Game Awards. Shout out to Mr. Flex a lot with the 81 months. What's good? So this is how everything began. So if you weren't in the know, there was some controversy with Divinity because the CEO made some comments about AI and their use of AI in the upcoming game Divinity. And then of course there was some backlash and then some follow-ups with this. But TLDR, the Larian boss was saying in some form or fashion that they're using AI, right? But then some things came out and said that the boss was lying about it. So it's a lot going on there. But just to read this, it said for a few days, Larian has been taking flack for using AI. Okay, he said I think at this point everyone at the company is more or less okay with the way that they're using it. So that's kind of the real controversy there. It's not so much using AI, it's the way that they're using it. So the former employee has responded to this comment, saying that Larian is lying about everyone in the company being okay with it. So one person is saying, "Oh, they're okay with using AI the way they're using it." Then, and now was another employee or former employee saying, "Ah, they ain't okay. They're not okay about using this, right?" So it said that Amithal, a former QA tester at Larian, and stated that after working at Larian, they aren't surprised by the new AI stuff. So it sounds like they seen it coming, or that they've been messing around with it, dabbling with it for a while. Alleging that Sven Vinky, that's the founder, they said they're lying about people being okay with it. Another former employee, Selena Tobin, has also stated that they love working at Larian Studios until AI. So again, it sounds like AI is causing some real ruffles at Larian. Said Tobin asked the developers to show their employees some respect. So that's good, even though they're saying, hey, that I don't think a lot of people were okay with using AI and Larian. They still wanted y'all to not, dog pile on the current employees that are working there. They say they are world class and they do not need AI assistance to come up with amazing ideas. So again, saying that the people who are currently working there are talented enough that they don't even need to use AI, but they're saying that people are not comfortable with it in the company. And they're saying that people are not comfortable with using AI in the company. So the Larian founder has already posted on X saying that they are not pushing hard to replace concept artists with AI. So they're trying to, just nip that in the butt after their comments. And then they also stated that success has come from empowering people to work in their own way and bring the best out of their skill and craft so that we can make the best RPGs we can possibly make. In that context, it would be irresponsible for us to evaluate new technologies. However, our processes are always evolving, and where they are not efficient or fail to align with who we are, we will make changes. Then they're saying they're gonna do an ask me anything AMA. So most likely it'll be on Reddit, because usually the AMAs are always on Reddit. It might be on Twitter, but usually they put it on Reddit. They're gonna do it after the holidays. So we'll see how that is. I want to follow up and see how that goes. I'm not on Reddit, and I usually am never on Reddit for the AMAs, but I do want to see what people are asking, because I'm sure it seemed like at this point 90% of the AMAs are probably going to be revolving around AI, not so much about Divinity itself, but we'll see. But I think a lot of people are going to be most likely speaking about AI, having AI based comments on that AMA. So we will see. You saw a man that blew up over the weekend dead. What up, Stick? What up, Stick? It's Larry's a big studio, multiple countries. Yeah. So we'll see. So that was that, right? So that was literally the start of it. So I want to again do the timeline, because I'm actually glad that I didn't stream, because I don't stream on the weekends anyways. But I'm glad that I didn't stream, because we wouldn't have had at least, the news that I have now. But this is again getting back to, people just trying to be the first to report on things, and you don't have the full scale on what happened. So a lot of people jumped the gun on this. But let's get to the next part, right? Let's get to the next part. So that happened. Then again, literally over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, going to Sunday, the Indie Game Awards, which I'm gonna say this, no shade to the Indie Game Awards, but up until this point, unless you were in the know, like really in the know, nobody knew or really cared about the Indie Game Awards, okay? According to the Ball and Gun Gamers, the Indie Game Awards are for a bunch of nerds, They say, go play your indie games, go over there. So nobody really cared about the Indie Game Awards in that aspect, unless you were in the know, in the industry, and up for these awards. You're like, oh, if I get an award from the Indie Game Awards and I'm an indie developer, it's like, oh, okay, that's cool, right? I don't know if people are holding the Indie Game Awards in such high regard compared to the Game Awards. I've said this a million times, but the Game Awards at this point is the Oscars or the Grammys of video games. So I'm not saying that it's the only thing that should be relevant. I'm not saying that that's the only thing that you should be caring about. But for the majority, the people only care about the Game Awards, and they don't really they don't really talk about in such a high manner or such a high clip as they do the Game Awards. So Joystick Awards or any other awards. I'm not saying that the Game Awards is the end all be all. I'm not saying it's the only awards, because there are clearly other award shows. But I'm simply just saying, in the grand scheme of things, the Game Awards is the only thing that really people talk about and that they care or fake care about. Because, you know, the people who claim they don't care about the Game Awards, they clearly care, because they're yapping, and we've seen this clearly about this one video game this year. So with that being said, nobody really cared about the Indie Game Awards in that fashion. But this year is a little different, because of course you got Expedition 33 that's winning all of the big boy awards for its being its first game out from this studio, and it being an indie game, an independent game. Okay, so just, you know, bringing all of that full circle. But nobody really cared or were talking about the Indie Game Awards. But the IGA, we're going to call them that for short instead of saying Indie Game Awards the entire time, IGA stripped Expedition 33 of their Game of the Year award. So they did initially, for their award show, they also gave Expedition 33 Game of the Year, but they stripped Expedition 33 of the Game of the Year awards because they claim that Expedition 33 used generative AI, which is a no. Apparently, it's part of their rules. You cannot use AI, or you will be disqualified or just not up for nomination. Now, this one, we're gonna go through it, because there should be no reason why the IGA staff and committee didn't know about Expedition 33 and this whole controversy about AI. So we'll get to it as we continue down this path. All right. So we get the full context on everything. Because again, I feel like a lot of people did not read, or they did not wait before all of the news came out. So reading this, so it says IGA's stripped Expedition 33 of the Game of the Year award. Actually, 2 awards. Okay, 2 awards. So not just a Game of the Year, but it's another award as well. So Sandfall Interactive, you know, we got record-breaking, numbers. We got nine awards that you won at the Game Awards. But they said that Sandfall launched with a placeholder texture that was built from generative AI. Okay, one texture that someone found. They said that this texture was using generative AI. All right. So the developer patched them out 5 days after release. 5 days after release, insisting they made the cut by mistake. It went under the radar because, again, people don't typically talk about these things. And we're going to talk about my personal opinions on Expedition 33 in a minute as we continue down this timeline, because a lot of news started coming out over the weekend. Said it went under the radar until recently, when comments from Sandfall co-founder and producer Francois reemerged. So these initial comments were from July, brother, from the summer, which is hilarious. So, you know, again, we'll get into the full scheme of why the IGA should have known about this, because it's not like news that just came out. This is news that has re-emerged. Do we know what re-emerge means? Apparently, we do not know what re-emerge means. So let's continue. Speaking to El País for an article published in July, like I just said, Francois said, "We use some AI, but not much. The key is that we were very clear about what we wanted to do and what to invest in. And of course, technology has allowed us to do things that were unthinkable a short time ago. Unreal Engine 5's tools and assets have been very important in improving the graphics, gameplay, and cinematics." So this was the initial thing that just had people in an uproar once people found out about it. So like, oh man, y'all use AI. You use AI, you're disqualified. You shouldn't have won all those awards. You remember what I said on countless other videos and countless other streams. People now, for this particular video game, it's not happening as much for other video games, but this particular video game, I sincerely feel like it's a lot of forced hate. and it's a lot of agenda pushing that's going on simply because this game won a lot of awards, or that it was even nominated before it even won the awards, simply because it was nominated for a lot of awards. And again, the ball and gun gamers and anyone else with an agenda, we're gonna talk about the Silk Song fans, y'all getting a little weird with the agendas too. But to push your own agenda and your narrative about what you think should be a game of the year, I think that y'all started also pushing the hate train against Expedition 33. Y'all hating on it because it's turn-based. Like, why? You're hating on it because it won a lot of awards. Why? You're hating on it because a lot of people were talking about it and hyping it up. Why? Again, these are all terrible reasons to not like something, but these are the type of agendas that y'all tried to push. Anyways, let's continue. So these comments resurfaced since July. I want to say that again. July. It was the summer. We're in December now, about to be in January 2026. These were comments made in July. How do you not know? Especially, I would say this is embarrassing. I actually didn't even catch it. I didn't know these comments came out. But for the IGAs, you know, you're supposed to be checking these things. If you have these in your rule book, you're supposed to be checking these things. So how did y'all not know about it? That's pretty embarrassing if you didn't know about it and all of a sudden these things resurface. So are you saying that you didn't know or that you truly didn't know? I'm going to lean towards y'all actually knew and y'all wanted to cause a scene. Maybe somebody also was a ball and gun gamer on IGA. I don't know, but something's going on. Maybe they were a Silk Song fan. Who knows? But something is going on. I truly think something was going on. I truly think, because how do y'all not know about this? But y'all put them in the nomination and gave them the award and then stripped it away. Why? What is the reason for that? If you truly stood on business about this AI stuff, you should have known. Okay, you should have known. All right. So the comments resurfaced, and then you know, after the backlash again, because the Larian boss, you know, he woke it up, and then people started finding the stuff about Expedition 33. So continuing on, because this stuff is talking about Larian here. So IGAs, let's talk about their statement. So their statement says IGAs have a hard stance. Like I said, they're saying no business, right? They have a hard stance on the use of Gen AI throughout the nomination process and during the ceremony itself. When it was submitted for consideration, a representative of Zampella Interactive agreed that no Gen AI was used in the development. So I understand this particular portion, but again, like if you said that in July, and then I don't know when you spoke to representative of Sandfall, maybe they didn't know. I don't know, but I'm kind of thinking, I'm like, man, if somebody at Sandfall or IGA didn't know, like it's a little sketchy there. It's a little sketchy there. So that's the one thing I'm kind of like, Sandfall, like were you truly being, were you being truthful here about it? When you're being truthful here about it. But they said that the Sandfall representative said that Gen AI was not being used in development, which I mean, we'll get to it. It's technically true, but not true. Technically true, but not true, because it's so small, bro. It's so minuscule, and we'll show you in a second. So they said in light of Sandfall Interactive confirming the use of Gen AI in production on the day of the Indie Awards 2025 premiere, this does disqualify Expedition 33 from the nomination. While the assets in question were patched out, and it is a wonderful game, it does go against a regulation we have in place. As a result, the IGA nomination committee has agreed to officially retract both the debut game and Game of the Year award. So this caused a huge stir, man, a huge stir. I have not seen so many people with such hard stances about AI, and I'm gonna get to y'all hypocrisy in a moment, because I'm really gonna get on y'all, because like I said, it's either gonna be all or none, because the way that y'all have been going on and yapping about this game, boy, it's very, very disgusting, very, very nasty. So they continue to say each award went to the next highest ranked game in its respective category. Sorry, We're Closed now wins debut game, and Blueprints now is one game there, where somebody also tried to spin the narrative about Blueprints, which is just, again, equally nasty. I get it. It got on some like Drake Kendrick level, just spewing nonsense, man. Just spewing nonsense. And he said, Meanwhile, El Pius has updated the original article to include a statement from Sandfall clarifying its use of generative AI and the making of Claroscuro. So now the original article has a statement. It said the studio states that it was in contact with El Pius on April 25th, 3 months prior to the publication. So dang, so it happened even earlier. Said during these exchanges, Zampella Interactive indicated that it had used a limited number of pre-existing assets, notably 3D assets sourced from the Unreal Engine marketplace. None of these assets were created using AI. So here's the kicker here, right? Here's the kicker. You're saying that they use generative AI, or you know, in the original article, they were saying that y'all use generative AI, but now it has been updated to say that, hey, you know, we may have used AI, or we didn't know there was AI, but we took these assets from the Unreal Engine marketplace, and they said these weren't made using AI. So that was interesting there. Zampella Interactive further clarified that there were no Gen AI created assets in the game. When the first AI tools became available in 2022, some of the members of the team briefly experimented with them to generate temporary placeholder textures, okay? So I want y'all to keep up here. They said that they did play around with it. They play around with it, and they put temporary placeholder textures. Temporary placeholder textures. Upon release, instances of a placeholder texture were removed within 5 days. So they missed, they missed one major one, and they got replaced with the correct texture that have already been attended for release, but were missed during the QA process. So again, nobody is perfect here. They did use a placeholder here. They used a placeholder here, and it just so happened to be Gen AI. So, that's the thing here, right? Like, I don't feel like Episode 33 should be condemned for this. I don't feel like they should be condemned for this, especially if they caught it and then removed it. But there's a certain subset of the internet that is acting like the entire team at Expedition 33 used AI throughout its entire video game. Like, they made the game using AI, which is just simply not true. If you're using something as a placeholder, that is what it is. It's a placeholder. And this happens all the time in game development. Again, I am not a game developer, but I at least know that much. You put placeholders there until you have the full assets built out and drawn out. That's typical practice. You put a placeholder here. It just don't happen that this placeholder did not get removed. Just so happened that it did not get removed. And if you want to know what it looks like, then here you go. So this is what it is. This is what it is. Okay. And this one was a placeholder, right? You clearly see its AI as the words are all jumbled up, right? Now, I want to ask y'all again, honest opinion. Do you think that this fully disqualifies Expedition 33 from winning any more awards? Do you think that this should warrant the type of hate that Expedition 33 is getting right now? I'm gonna tell you already. No, it shouldn't. It should not. But again, there are people who already have an agenda against this video game, saying, "Oh, there it is. I got you. See, you're fraudulent." That's what people are doing. I'm gonna ask this question. I generally don't like what ifs, but I'm gonna ask this question. If there were generative AI used throughout this entire video game, if they fully admitted, yeah, we use Gen AI, but the game still was as good as it was story-wise, was as good as it was gameplay-wise, would you have a problem? Would you be like, "Oh, brother, I can't play that game. AI slop. I'm not saying that it's okay, but I'm just asking an honest question. Would you treat this game any differently if you knew what you knew? If generative AI was all throughout this game, but everything else was the same. Story was the same. They had the same cast of characters. Everything else was the same. I'm going to say no. I'm not going to be mad at you if you say yes. But I think you will be disingenuous. I think you will be a little disingenuous if everything else was the same, but it was just some placeholders, generative AI all throughout this game, in a lot of different assets. I think it would look a little weird, but I don't think, like, if you've seen this, again, a lot of people don't even pay attention to detail. That's the crazy thing. I wouldn't have noticed this. I'm sorry. I wouldn't have noticed it. I wouldn't have noticed it. And again, I'm not taking Exodus 33 or anybody off the hook in this hypothetical question, right? But I don't think I would have noticed to the point where I'm like, man, that's just wrong. I think it would have been lazy, yes, but I don't think it would have taken away from the full scope of the game, in my opinion. It really would depend on how much that they would be using it. I think it would depend on how much they would be using it. Again, I am not of the notion that you should be using generative AI in a creative space. But if you're using it as a placeholder, if you're using it to assist, if you're using it as a tool, which is what it should be, not doing the work for you, then I think that's okay. But this is very minor, man. Especially if they saw it and they passed it out. Like we're really gonna bring the pitchfork to them at all? I mean, I wouldn't, man. I wouldn't. But again, I'm not mad at you. I'm like, man, I wouldn't play the game. I wouldn't play the game. So again, I'm not mad at you. But this is what it looks like. That's actual asset, and this is what the placeholder look like. Okay. All right. So as we move on, from that, I want to talk about another thing, because I'm gonna at least take accountability for this one. I'm gonna take accountability for this one, right? Because I should have been more literal and not tongue in cheek about this one. But this started controversy. People calling me the R word, all that. They were saying that I was living under a rock, and I'm like, you must not know who you're talking to. I am super tapped in on stuff, especially with ethos around. But I'm gonna be honest with this particular video game. I didn't even know about it using AI until Ethos said something. But I said on Twitter, on the 20th, I said, with Expedition 33 currently getting dunked on because of AI, where is that same energy for Arc Raiders? Said that's currently the meta game for streamers, and I haven't heard a peak. I don't want to hear it. Now, I did not mean that I haven't heard anybody talk about AI and Arc Raiders, but here is the point that I was trying to make. And this goes into, again, the second to last sentence that I heard. Everybody's playing Arc Raiders right now. Y'all want to go on Twitch? Let's go on Twitch. Let's go on Twitch right now. Let's go on Twitch right now. Arc Raiders currently has, again, I don't want to use this as law, because people are like, well, why are you using Twitch as law? But 126K viewers right now on Arc Raiders. All the big streamers. Tfue came back. Hamlin's came back. What are they both playing? They're playing Arc Raiders. Were they necessarily interested in it? I don't know. But they came back, and generally, everything has a meta, bro. Everything has a meta. So when the popular game is out there, everybody wants to play it. Do you think that Tfue knows about AI in Arc Raiders? Do you think that Hamlin, shout out to Ham, no disrespect to my boy, but do you think that Hamlin's knows about AI usage in Arc Raiders? Do you think they care? Do you think that the Burn Peanut, one of the most popular streamers right now, do you think he knows about Arc Raiders using AI, or cares about Arc Raiders using AI? This is the point, right? I saw articles from journalists, gaming journalists, talking about Arc Raiders using AI. And I may have seen a couple of people on the internet talking about it, but it quickly faded away. This is the point that I am trying to make. If people truly cared about AI usage in video games, I feel like at this point, with the way that y'all are yapping and getting louder, this should have been an all or nothing situation. This is why I am pointing out the hypocrisy. Why do you care about AI usage or potential AI usage in Expedition 33 and in Divinity 3, but you don't care about it for Arc Raiders? You're going to play that game because guess what? Even with the AI usage in Arc Raiders, are these people having fun? It seems like they're having fun or just playing the meta game, either one. But the point is, they don't care or know about the AI usage in Arc Raiders. That is the point. I am sorry, though. I got to take accountability because I was not specific enough, because everybody on the internet takes everything super literal, apparently. So I do apologize about that I wasn't clear. I was being tongue-in-cheek about me not hearing people about AI usage in Arc Raiders and people complaining about it. But that is literally the point. Do y'all care about the AI usage in Arc Raiders? No. The answer is no. Y'all don't care about it. So why are y'all dunking on Exodus 33 because of this? Because of one placeholder that got patched out. That is a hypocrisy that I'm pointing out. Clip it. Because that is what I was trying to say. But now everybody just wants to say, oh, man, what? They talk about it. They talk about it. Oh, my God. Like, duh, I know that they talked about it, but it was mainly journalists. It was people who tapped into the industry. I'm talking about the general public. I'm talking about the general public, bro. Y'all aren't talking about it, because if y'all did, if y'all were still talking about it and y'all cared that much, then you would not play Arc Raiders either. That is the whole freaking point. But again, I think too critically, I was being tongue-in-cheek about it. I'll take accountability for y'all dumbasses not understanding what I was trying to say. I wasn't being literal about it, okay? like, bro. Y'all are, yes, and that's a Mesoflex side. You hit the nail on the head. I'm gonna pull up Eat Those Tweets in a second. But there is an article. I could probably find it right now. Let me see. So it's only gonna get worse. So I don't want y'all trying to put this line in the sand talking about AI, bro. Because then if 90% of games use AI, then we not gonna be playing nothing if y'all care about it so much. If y'all cared about it to the extent that y'all claim that y'all care about it, then we won't be playing any video games. If 90%, bro, 90% is a huge number. That's way more to have. That's damn near 100%. 90% of game developers are already using AI in workflows. Again, if you're using AI as a tool, but not to do the work for you. If you care about AI and oh no, you can't use AI, man, in any video game, then shut the fuck up right now and don't play any video games and just get out of the community. It's not a hobby for you anymore. Then if you care about it, but I know y'all don't, because y'all are freaking hypocrites. Y'all are hypocrites. That's why I said don't push a hard stance about this AI stuff. Do not put your hard stance about the AI stuff, because if you do, then you're not gonna be playing anything. Then you just sit on the sidelines and watch everybody play this game. But guess what? I bet you when GTA 6 come out, I bet you're gonna be playing it. What if GTA 6 uses AI? I can almost guarantee they use AI in some situation, and they probably gonna be using even more if they continue with this strike stuff, if this union busting stuff. So y'all not gonna say it. That's gonna be one game that y'all truly not gonna say a people bot, and I'm gonna stand on that shit. That's one thing I'm gonna stand on. Y'all ain't gonna say a goddamn thing about GTA 6 when that motherfucker come out and y'all find out they're using AI. Y'all gonna brush it. Oh no, game of the year, man, game of the century, game of the. Bro, I know what I'm talking about, because I know how y'all niggas are, bro. I know how y'all are. So don't push that hard stand, bro. I ain't trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear it. GTA 6 gonna blow y'all motherfucking mind, bro. No matter how good or bad that game is, it's gonna blow y'all minds. What if Wolverine uses AI? Then what y'all gonna say? Y'all gonna be mad still? Like, bro, I'm not trying to hear it. That's why I said, y'all gotta shut up and wait for the facts to come out, bro. Stop trying to take these hard ass stances, bro. Y'all trying to push y'all agendas, and I swear y'all motherfuckers don't like playing video games. I swear y'all don't like playing video games anymore. Get out of the space, bro. It's okay. You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to play the game, bro. Just get out of the space, because y'all niggas are mad at everything. And I'm like literally get pissed off. Y'all niggas are mad out everything now, bro. Everything. Like, it's getting ridiculous. It's making it not fun. I'm trying to still have fun playing video games and talking about it, but y'all are making it super not fun, bro. Especially y'all agenda pushers, bro. Y'all trying to push every single goddamn agenda there is, bro. Can y'all please stop talking about Expedition 33? The studio already won all those damn rewards. You can't take it back, bro. And even though IGA took their back, bro, you can't take away what they already earned, bro. They already earned it. So just leave it alone, bro. I told y'all don't have to play the game because you got peer pressure. I don't care, and I never care. Y'all don't have to play the game anymore, bro. Just leave it alone. If you truly don't want to play it, then don't play it. But stop talking about it, bro. If you don't care about it, if you don't care about turn-based games, you don't care about JRPGs, just leave it alone. It's simple. But y'all trying to find every single little nitpicky thing to talk about the game and try to invalidate it. It's over, bro. The game, like, the war is over. Whatever war y'all had, bro, it ain't going to amount to anything, man. It's not going to amount to anything. So that's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say about this, man. So again, I apologize for this tweet. I should have been literal about it. You know, y'all got on my head about it. I muted that damn tweet super fast because y'all started getting, again, disrespectful like y'all always do on the internet. But I bet y'all ain't gonna pull up. I bet y'all ain't gonna say this shit to my face. So I don't need to be taking this stuff seriously. But this person, what up, Corley? It says like when Reggie Bush won a high in the committee to make right, exactly. Like he already won that joint. He already won it. Like just stupid. That's a great example. This person, bro. I gave him time, bro. I gave him time, bro. So this is what I was talking about earlier, man. So we put out the pod and he 5 days later, he 5 days later was like, oh, we just gonna act like this didn't happen, huh? And I'm like, get paso? Like, what are you talking about? Like, hello? So this he's like, we just gonna act like this didn't happen. Like, we saw the article. We saw this. And so I told him, I said, look at the date that the podcast was posted. Why did you come on this tweet and responded to all of us talking about, so we're just going to act like this didn't happen? I want to ask y'all, because again, I know I'm not tripping, but I want to ask y'all, if somebody comes to you and they come to you with this type of energy, we're just going to act like this didn't happen, huh? Do you think they're trying to push an agenda? Do you think they're trying to push an agenda? Y'all got to answer. I know the answer is yes. Y'all got to answer. The answer is yes. Like, why would you tweet us? Why would you tweet us this and you not trying to push something? And so I called them out. I called them out because I'm like, you bringing that energy that I ain't messing with. You're trying to say in a tongue-in-cheek way that we're trying to ignore this. You're trying to say that we're defenders of Expedition 33 and we're scared to talk about it. Well, guess what? I just talked about it. So I hope you tuned in, bitch, because here we go. Now you got your fucking video. So I said, look at the date that this podcast was posted and look at when the article came out. I said, come on, don't try to start a narrative like we're trying to ignore it. In fact, I tweeted about it yesterday. He responded, y'all, I've been all over y'all page. I don't know what page. You talking about the GI page? We don't even post anything but the pod on the page. What are you talking about? I've been all over your page. You talking about you've been over each of our pages? Ethos, Watch, myself, and TBH? He said, y'all talked about the fight, which I believe only TBH talked about the fight. I ain't even tweet about the fight. I tried to watch it and I fell asleep. I ain't even talk about the fight. TBH, I think he was streaming and he made a video about the fight. He talked about the fight. So it's one person. He talked about the fight and he said and other stuff, but not this. Stop it. So again, you telling on yourself even more. You're trying to start a narrative, bro. You're trying to start a narrative that we're ignoring it. That this isn't important news. You see what I'm saying? So you already come in with that type of energy, right? And so I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, you going, right? You going? I said, all right, bro. I said, you really going, man. So where was it at? Where was I replying to him? Where was I replying to him? All right, so he kept going. I said, bro, we can't talk about news that came out after the pod. Like you want me to get in a time machine and be like, oh, breaking news. Did y'all hear? Like what? Hold on, you said IGN did it too? Wait a minute, I gotta look at that for a second. I'm gonna really get on IGN head if they did that. Don't be, you got something for that, man? You got a source? Cause let me find out. I'm gonna look it up in a minute if you don't link it yourself. But I said, bro, we can't talk about the news after it came out. I said, now apologize to me because I literally talked about it yesterday, and then I quoted, I put the tweet in there. And he said, LMAO, bro, I just said y'all haven't said anything about it, which again is false. I did say something about it. He said it, and he said it. If I didn't see that, you said one thing about it. Cool. Here's your cookie. So again, you ain't apologize. You ain't correct yourself. Oh, my bad, bro. Yeah, my bad. You did say it. But again, they could be backtracking. They don't want to admit that they wrong. They don't want to admit that they wrong. Say, but y'all haven't talked about this. Take 2 seconds to post a video on Twitch. Again, niggas like, oh man, I need that from y'all. I need that news from y'all right now. Do it right now. Nigga, I don't do content on the weekends. I don't do content on the weekends, bro. And I'm not going to just quickly make a video. I'm sorry. The only time that I make videos is when I'm chopping up my streams. And then we talk about it on the pod, and we don't do pods every day. We don't do pods every week. So again, you're demanding that I do something, bro. You're demanding that I do something. You got to do it now. And I said, I haven't streamed since Wednesday. I said, how am I going to talk about it? Again, you're trying to paint a narrative that we're trying to avoid it, and that's clearly not the case. Sandfall is not paying any of us. We'll talk about it when we see fit. Say, go be mad somewhere else. And you're like, you got to enjoy that cookie. I'm like, and I'm like, since you feel so passionate about it, this is what I'm going to start telling everybody. You don't be demanding nothing from me. Said, since you feel so passionate about this topic, you going to make a video then. You go make a video. You talk about it since you're so passionate about it. I say, you don't need to talk about it in order for you to get your agenda off, because clearly you're trying to make an agenda. I say, you're not going to get the expected response from me anyways, because I ain't going to be on your side. I'm not with the pitchforks against Expedition 33, so sorry. But this is type of stuff, bro. It's the type of stuff we be seeing, man. And you said, I asked a question, you answered it, but getting in your feelings. And again, every time that I meet people with that energy, then they said I'm getting into my feelings. Every time, bro. It never fails. We're talking over the internet, bro. These are words. These are words that you are reading or not reading. I don't know. These are words that you are reading. I'm not getting in my feelings. But again, they always say, oh, you getting in your feelings, bro. Oh, you mad. Like, I'm giving you the same energy that you're giving me, because you're demanding that we talk about something, and you're acting like we're trying to ignore it and avoid it on purpose. And that's simply not the case. But nobody makes content on your time, bro. I ain't on demand. Ain't nobody in GI on demand. like fuck you talking about? So sometimes you look at E33 and think to yourself, damn, what'd you do? Exactly, bro. Exactly. What up, Shan? What up, Shan? And so I said, he said, I see y'all love sheeps, and here we go with the sheep stuff. I don't want everybody to agree with me. I don't want all yes men. Again, y'all starting with that crap too. I say, who never question y'all again, huh? I was like, you question me, you gave a question already in bad faith. It was already in bad faith. So I master energy. And you say, enjoy your cookie. I'm sure y'all talking about it when the news is old. Okay? It don't matter, bro. I'm not trying to be the first in line to make a video. I've never been like that. Never been like that, and I'm glad I didn't, because a lot of people got to eat their words. They got to eat their words because they did not get the full facts. I'm actually glad I'm waiting. So glad I waited. So I said, no, what you asked, it was a question not in good faith. It's like, come on now, I see through all of it. Now you're following up, trying to start another narrative because I didn't respond how you thought I would. Nobody ever. I don't know what y'all be expecting from me, bro. I'm not gonna give you the response that you think you gonna get, boy. I'm gonna give you some left field, boy. Y'all don't know me. I said, I'm gonna give you the same energy you giving me, bro. So damn shame, bro. Damn shame. I can't believe it, man. Can't believe it. So anyway, so that was that. One more thing before we get off Clear Obscure, because there was another situation happened on IGAs too, man. They just rescinded sending awards, man. Like y'all snatching new chain, bro. Like y'all snatching new chain. But Shroud said that he likes Expedition 33, man. What a surprise. He started playing it. He said he loves it, and it's funny. I don't know why he took Asmongold's word for law, but he said Asmongold said, when I play the game after win game of the year, I'm going to enjoy it. He said, dare I say he was right? So the leader of the ball and gun gamers loves Expedition 33. We already told him. We already tried to tell you, bro. But you was sitting there on Arc Raiders' dick, you know, saying this game of the year, and you didn't understand Expedition 33, and it's a single player game, and it's turn based, and blah 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 blah. You was putting on that hot shit. You were trying to do your little agenda, and it didn't work. Claire Expedition almost swept the damn field, and you played the game, and now you like it. Oh man. Clap it up for the ball and gun gamer, man.
The devil is a motherfucking liar. So you know I ain't worried. Biatch. You got me now. You got me now. You got me now. Oh, you figured me out. You fucking income fucking poop.
Bitch, that's a mistake.
Woo! Listen, I'm 10 toes the fuck down, nigga. Fuck, I ain't gonna go fucking where, nigga.
Boy. Oh man, the gun bishop. I like that, man. He said teammates are right. He needs to stop with this it's crazy, man. Asthma, exactly. Asthma go out of all people. Out of all people. That's who you That's who you were like, oh man, or you dare I say you're right? Like, get out of here. All right, so here's another one that popped up. I wasn't familiar with this at all. I'm still not familiar with it, but I saw this come up as well. So the IGAs also took away the Vanguard award from Shantae. So he said, TLDR, Shantae's award got retracted from the IGA producers over cartridges being produced and sold by Mod Metro. I don't know if any of y'all caught this, and I still don't even know. Let's look it up. What's Mod Retro? And it's funny because literally you pull it up in the first thing they have here. It's congratulations, Shantae, Indie Game Awards and class of 2025 Indie Vanguard. So they made a cartridge for Shantae. So Mod Retro, apparently they make a Game Boy style thing, I'm sure, with a whole bunch of ROMs in there. It's one big emulator. So chromatic game bundles. I guess they make new and old games. So chartable power cord, link cable, mod kit. Yes, I still don't fully understand this story, man. But anyway, so that's what Mod Retro is. So they said the award got retracted from the IGAs over cartridges being produced and sold by Mod Retro. Response to a virtue signaling statement by IGA's director filled with falsehoods and inaccuracies. So they took another award away. So not only Expedition 33 got their chain snatched, but Shantae did too. So crazy. Y'all can read this on your own time, but because it's a lot. But that's what happened, and I'm like, whoa, like what, like are the IGA directors on a power trip or something? Like, what are all of these rules, man? Like, what is truly happening? Like, I feel like at this point, y'all will just, whatever credibility that you did have, I feel like you're losing it. So y'all better, tread lightly, IGAs, because again, nobody really talking about y'all. But I feel like after this, like, people are talking about y'all, but for the wrong reasons. I want the IGA, because it sounds like the IGAs are pretty authentic for the indie community and anybody who makes indie games and getting recognized for them. But you're just taking awards away from like that. Like, I don't understand that, man. I don't understand that. I really think it's a reach because the cartridges were made from aluminum. They happen to use it for drones. Yeah, that is what I saw. They said that Mod Retro were allegedly like making weapons of mass destruction or something like that, making actual weapons. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't look that far into what Mod Retro actually did, but yeah, yeah. I mean, that's some interesting stuff. I mean, if that's true, that's really what they're doing. I get it, but I also don't think that their award should be taken away from that. I mean, because of that. I don't think their award should be taken away because of that. Because they made cartridges for the game. Like, I don't know, man. Like, that's a little weird, man. That's a little weird. That's a little past my pay grade, my knowledge base. But yeah, but they took away 3 awards. Two from Expedition 33 in Sandfall, and then one from Shantae, man. That's oof. It's a rough day for the IGAs, man. But like I said, I don't want y'all to like just crash and burn. But I think that y'all should again reevaluate like all the moves that y'all are making. I don't know if this is a one person decision or I don't know if this is like a collective, decision. But it's not looking good. Not looking good right now. This recent news that has come out, man. So I just wanted to bring that up. But that's all that I have. Like I said, ultimately, especially with what we know now, if 90% of games are already using AI in some capacity, I do not want people to be falling on that sword and standing on business about AI, man, because AI is going to be here to stay in some form or fashion. And again, my personal stance is I don't care about AI being used as a tool and as an assistant. But I do care about, especially in the creative space, AI being used to actually do the work for you. I don't want to play a fully AI-based game, right? Like we're far beyond that. I want the creatives to stay creative. I want the artists to stay artists. I want y'all to make amazing products that are from the soul, from the heart. But again, if you're using AI as a tool to, bring down production times, to bring down your workflow times, I think that's fine, man. I think that's fine. But if you need to actually make the art for you, make the creative stuff for you, then I'm not with that. But Extra 33 should not be condemned for that one placeholder, man. Like that's tragic, bro. That's really tragic. And I feel like IGN should get the awards back because they were wrong, bro. They were wrong. Oh man, you generating like, man, really, it's really a non-issue. It's really a non-issue. And for all the people that are starting these agendas, I want y'all to really stop just running to the internet. Stop just running to the internet so quickly when you don't even have the full scope of what's going on. You know, one article comes out, blows it up, and then here y'all go, just start running away with it. And we don't know everything. Sometimes it does pay to just wait a little bit until all the news comes out. Sometimes I get it. You're going to get the views, you're going to get the attention, you know, initially talking about it. It's fine, but I need to stop chasing that clout, man. That's temporary clout. And then when you end up being wrong, then, you know, none of y'all apologize. None of y'all apologize and be like, all right, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know, the journalists, you know, a lot of times they have to. And that's where edits come in. They'll edit and be like, hey, you know, ever since this article was published and this news came out, you know, they usually do that, but not the regular person on Twitter, not the regular person on social media. Y'all don't apologize for nothing. Y'all stand on business for being dumb and wrong, like all the time. Y'all stand on business for being dumb and wrong all the freaking time, bro. Sometimes just wait, man. Just wait and see what's going on before we jump to conclusions. That's literally all this was. Y'all were jumping to conclusions and saying, oh man, that one thing, general AI, man, y'all using general AI. I don't think you get... Half of y'all don't even know what generative AI even is. Y'all just hear AI and just go off the rails. But again, y'all wanna jump off that bridge, go for it. You ain't gonna be playing no games then. You're not gonna be playing no games. So I would love to see that world. I ain't gonna stop playing video games anytime soon. I don't have a hard stance like that. So he said, hello, Black. What up, Ethos? He said, who cares about the IGA? They were relevant for that. I said, I don't want to say who cares, but yeah, I mean, nobody was talking about him. That's what I'm gonna say here, right? Nobody was talking about him like that. So, hey, so that's that. We got some sad news, man. We have some sad news. Let's get a moment of silence, man. Give a moment of silence.
Why the fuck you
that's the wrong one. Sorry.
I really miss my nigga. Just a breakdown. Really miss my nigga. White people.
It was a sad day, man. Sad day seeing this news. But if you weren't aware, Zampella, one of the GOATs in the FPS space, died in a car accident yesterday. And I saw that news, I was like, whoa, like no freaking way, man. No freaking way. Zampella was a freaking legend. If you aren't aware of Zampella, I know majority of people know Zampella because of Call of Duty. I know him from, you know, even before then. Who remembers Medal of Honor? You know, this was back when he was originally with EA, making Medal of Honor, Allied Assault. And then, you know, things didn't go right with EA. And then he went to Activision, started Infinity Ward. Then they started making Call of Duty, which was, you know, poised to be the Medal of Honor killer back then. You know, the first Call of Duty didn't really hit. Call of Duty 2 kind of gained some traction. The original Call of Duty was kind of meh, but we all know what really kicked it off. It was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. And man, the memories on that game truly revolutionized the FPS space, especially on console. And then, as you know, Zampella ended up leaving Activision and Infinity Ward and starting his own studio with Respawn and went back to EA, ironically. But Titanfall, I know that is very near and dear to Ethos's heart. He started the cult classic Titanfall, and then ultimately Apex Legends, which Ethos also hates, so it's kind of a double-edged sword there. But you know, Apex Legends had its run. We cannot deny that Apex Legends had its run. But then also, you know, Star Wars, and then finally Battlefield 6. Man, like, imagine having that resume. Just imagine having that resume, man. Like, that is a hell of a resume. Literally, like, he's the godfather of a modern FPS game. Literally the godfather of modern FPS games, man. Like, so this is very sad news. He died at 55 years old. When I initially saw the video, I just did not think it was real. I'm like, I don't know what was going on, but I was like, dude was going way too fast through that tunnel, and yeah, I saw the video. It was very, very tragic because that car crumpled up, bro. So if y'all, if y'all screaming, don't look at the video, but it's very sad to see. Very, very disheartening, man. Very disheartening. But I want to give my condolences. We're gonna miss you, Zampella. Because again, nobody can make modern FPS game like you can, man. Nobody can make modern FPS games like you can. For Battlefield 6 being your last, your last stamp, before your untimely demise, man. I mean, you did a hell of a job, man. Did a hell of a job. So, so again, I want to, again, send my condolences out to Zampella and his family, man. Because, woof. Just tragic, man. Just tragic. You never know when you're gonna go. What up, man? Yeah, we lost a real one, man. Yeah, RP Lamar Wilson too. RP Lamar Wilson. I hope that people, especially black men, are really paying attention to what's been happening. I've been seeing a lot of people who are unaliving themselves lately. I don't know what's going on in the world. I know that we are not in a good place, especially in America. But I want people to, it sounds cliche. But I want people to really start protecting your mental health, man, because people are not well out here. People are not well. As you can tell, I've been arguing with people on social media. People on some other stuff, and I don't know if that's something else internally that's going on with them, but I feel like people are just directing their energy towards the wrong things. People are directing their energy toward the wrong things. Again, we're not talking about Vince Zampella anymore. But man, like we're seeing a couple of people, some YouTubers, some content creators that have been unaliving themselves recently, and I think that we're having some sort of thing going on, man. And I want this to become a trend. So I really want the people out there, especially men, especially black men, to really start thinking about your mental health and protecting yourself, because we need y'all out here, man. We need y'all out here. And start checking in on your friend, man. Checking on your friends more. I know that also sounds cliche, but check in on your friends. Even if they don't want to hear it, sometimes they do need to hear it. So try to be persistent about that. If someone is feeling down, and a lot of people, especially in those spaces, they don't want to talk about it. I even find myself trying to hide a lot of things, but I'm not, you don't have to worry about, I'm not in that mode. But when anything happens, sometimes I hold a lot of things to myself. But it's okay to speak about it. It's okay to speak about it, especially with your significant other, family, close friends, whatnot. So I just want to say that really quick, because yeah, I really like cringe every time I see somebody unaliving themselves. I'm just like, man, what was going on? Like, did they have anybody in their corner? That's the first thing I had. Like, was there anybody like in their corner? Was there anybody trying to help them? Did they even tell anybody? Because a lot of times these are silent battles too. And I'm like, man, just maybe if they just would have spoke up, just told somebody, like could somebody have saved their lives? Like, just try to redirect your mental from thinking like I don't know, man. I just really don't know. Like, somebody could seem so happy-go-lucky on the outside, and then on the inside, they're just not right. They're not right. They're not in the best space. So it just really, really sucks to hear about situations like that, man. Especially like when people come out. I know that a lot of this stuff happens, when someone alive, and then you give them their flowers, but start giving people flowers more while they're still here as well. But when we talk about certain people, it's like, oh man, like they were so nice, like they bring my spirits. I used to watch their stuff every day, like used to love them, like. But then, like, when this happens, and again, I always wonder why, like what was truly going on. So that thing like really, really boggles my mind, and I fight with that. When I think about somebody who would go through those situations and take their own lives like that. So again, just really, really, check on yourself first of all, man. Self-care, check on your mental health, but talk about it, man. Don't be afraid to talk about it with somebody. I hope that everybody has at least that one person that they can confide with. All you need is one. You don't need a whole village. Obviously a village would be more helpful here, but if you have at least one person that you can lend your ear to, man, just do it. And it goes the other way too, man. Check in on these people, especially if they tell you that they're not fine, man. Check in on them. So Yeah, I think niggas was calling it Kai they paying. Yeah, because same thing. I see Kai been tweeting more about mental health, he tweeting about anime, and how it's been helping him and been teaching him life lessons. So